mutes. The stream is not live. Let's quickly check on what's going on there. I'm just quickly get everybody in here. Sorry, boys. Doing a slightly earlier stream. I'm going to be muting some gems just quickly. We're having a interview with 3 of our racers. So I'm just quickly muting them, setting out the links, and then I'll be with you guys shortly. Okay, just gonna put some viewing on, boys. I'm just gonna start the stream, just sending out the links and stuff, so that I can just quickly get everybody on. Just part of my setup for this weekend, as I am not on my PC, so I'm just quickly doing a PS stream. Just doing a PS stream quickly. Just going to be muting the drivers quickly so that I can just do the introduction, and then I will open up their chats again, boys. Okay, Jen, so just pardon the blue screen and everything. Like I said, I'm just on the PS for this race. Unfortunately, my PC setup has just moved, so it'll be back on by next weekend. So just getting everything in order here, just popping it through on the Discords, sending out the links, making sure everybody and everything's on. We'll just jump to some drivers. Seeing Ghost is here as well, look at them go. Quickly writing here as well in the Gran Turismo chat. I think that will be great and live. And I will just quickly send it out. Okay. I think I'm just quickly opening up my YouTube. It's going to be an amazing race around Dragon Trail Seaside this weekend, boys. It's going to make for some interesting racing. Just quickly getting everything open here. Okay. Everything's set up. So I'm going to stream the PS with this things in quite a while. So let me quickly get in order, get the gens up. So again, boys, thank you for joining. This is the LNR SAGTL 2022 Season 1. Race 6. This is the end of the second phase, which is 369. This is the end of the second phase. Promo relegation will also be happening at the end of this round. So, however, just because of the PS stream, I thought I'd make it a little bit more interesting and interactive. Here are 3 of your boys. I'm quickly going to unmute them, and then we've got 2-3 questions for each of them as a pre-race interview. And then, yes, we can hear their thoughts on some things, and then let them get back to the racing. If there are any questions you would like to ask them, please pop it out. And if you have any questions for them, then we can definitely pop that out. So I think it is going to be making for some exciting racing this evening. Beautiful, brilliant racing. So what we have currently is I would say the advances or representatives of the 3 top teams currently in the gold pool for the current season, which is KBR Wolfie for his team. I believe they're on Q3 or P3 at the moment. P2 is Blue Go Racing. I might have the 2 swapped around. Blue Go Racing and representing them is D-Man GT, also the founder. And then we've got Richard, who is the teammate of KBR Fissy, who's currently being subbed. So, the boys, how are you this evening? Are you doing good? Are you doing good? Ooh, somebody's dying there. Wolfie, are you alright there?
Yeah, we're doing good, Dino, thank you.
I don't know what happened there. Good evening.
It's always good. You know, to be prim and proper with the greetings. I will address the questions to each one specifically. Are you guys ready for this evening? Ready to win that $100 death chicane pass overtake?
Yeah, we have to try, yeah? I'll stick one up Richard in the first lap and then we'll see what happens.
Just for the viewers who don't know, I had a little personal challenge for everybody for the coolest overtake at the Wall of Death, which is not really a place you would like to overtake. Just a simple $100 pop. So it's not really about the money, it's about the challenge itself. Okay, so just to not waste your time any further, boys, I'm going to address one question and then I will just ask the person to ask it first, and we will go in order of 3, 2, 1. So I believe who's second currently? Is it D-Man's team or the other team?
Mr. Wolfie's team.
Yeah, you guys are like 3 or 4 points difference. Very close.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So D-Man, we'll start with you then. Tell me, when you started the season, what was your goal for Peugeot, yourself as a person as well, or just your team?
Well, if you look at South Africa, there's pretty much 4 major teams that are quite big with regards to South African sim racing, namely Pace Motorsports, you got RTA, you got KBR, and you got Deadman Racing.
How about you put our name last? Thanks for that.
Well, I reversed the order, you could say, maybe from worst to first, really.
Let's keep it politically correct.
Nevertheless, so the whole plan with Blugo Racing, I formed a partnership, so I would say pretty much second in charge to the team. I'm just holding up the fort. Our main racer, Mr. Trackbart, he's most likely tuned in and watching. He's taken a little bit of a holiday off of the racing, and yeah, the main goal is to try and just reach South African sim racers onto the international platform and to try and compete with the much bigger teams out there.
Oh, that's perfect. And what was your goal for this specific SAGTL Season 1? It is the first of its kind, just a nice little casual thing, and we thought we'd combine it with LNR, which is already a standing Sunday night event, as not to protrude through the weekdays, as we have GDSSA there, and the slots are already full of that. So what is your team's goal for the season here, specifically knowing the competition, who there is, who there's not? Some big names not here, some big names are here. So yeah, what was your goal for coming into the season?
I think going through the years of racing with the gents, you get to know them as racers, you understand their style of driving, and I think the big chase is to have fun, you know, try and do well. And I mean, I know how competitive the guys can get, and it's very good fun, and mostly it's clean racing. You know, we all respect each other, and sometimes mistakes are made, but
of course,
yeah, we are very fair playing, so it's not like your traditional GT sport, like get you into the shadow round. So I think we've built a big community, and we all like a bigger family than just a bunch of racers getting together every week.
I completely agree with you. Thanks a million for that answer, Mr. D-Man Daniel Blom. And then also secondly, Mr. KBR Wolfie, when you started the season, what was your goal for yourself as the team, knowing where you came in?
You know, yeah, it's our first season where we started the season with Pool 1. Ghost is still relatively new to our team, but he's got a lot of pace. And I was very glad that we got into Pool 1, just purely for the fact that Ghost can really show what he's capable of. And then for myself was to just try and get podiums, just compete with the big dogs. So it's lucky to be in Pool 1. It's a good experience, and it's good to get better and compete with the guys at the top.
Perfect. And tell me currently, what was your goal? That was your goal. I think that's pretty obvious. And then as well, Mr. Richard, yourself and Fissy, coming into the season, you know you guys had the strongest card for winning this. Without the likes of, let's say, Dadnaman, Zivan was going to be your closest rivals, not for taking Wolfie and D-Man's teams, also knowing their rapid pace if they focus on one specific season. Going into it now with the loss and stuff, what was your goal? I'm assuming you've achieved it, and what did you going into it?
Yeah, well, Fissy, well, myself and Fissy's goal and from the beginning was to try to end up as a team, as number one. So yeah, it's very unfortunate for him not to be able to carry on with work obligations that he need to attend, unfortunately. But hopefully we can sort him out with a rig for the last 2 or 3 races. And yeah, it will be lucky to have him in the Pool 1 race again.
I definitely agree with you. So you guys obviously on par for your goal. I know your closest competitors at that moment was the DMR team. Fortunately, with their connectivity issues, have lost out, went to Silverpool. However, I know the BGR team and the KBR Apex Racing has now stepped up, and I think they're really going to be pushing hard. And I think with the knock of Fissy being gone, Hollywood has got some big shoes to fill. But that might see the opportunity for the boys to catch up a bit. So, going to again, who is your friendly nemesis, D-Man, if I had to chat to you here? Let's say on track currently in this season and then overall as well in the GD community.
I'll say pretty much anyone that I know is quicker than me. I've had my eye on Richard for a very long time. I've always been, I think, coming off second best, but I get to learn a lot from him as well, So after a race, I can sit and analyze and see what did I do wrong, was a bit overcautious and a bit too not aggressive, should I be more of an aggressive driver, or, so I get to learn a lot from them. And at the same time, it's like your goal obviously is, I'm coming today, maybe I can pull off a win, but it'll be that much more sweeter if I can beat Richard at the game. I think it's one of the favorites. But to be honest, I must say, I think the Aston stand a very good chance here. I know Mr. KBR Vincent is back, and he's like, I think the youngest in the crew, so he's got a lot of potential, and I'm sure he's going to become very rapid, in the days and months to come if he still follows through with the racing.
I definitely agree with you there, and with regards to Richard, as you've said now before, I think you've just reiterated your mark after that Tokyo race. I think the boys were saying, okay boys, D-Man's back. I think iCarbons as well did a proper race that week, and you guys have always managed to finish close to each other. So Wolfie, who's your friendly nemesis? I'm actually also on your car, looking at your livery a bit. That is quite nice.
Thanks. I think personally this is one of the best liveries I've done. It's my favorite. My friendly nemesis, it's got to be Fissy. We race together a lot. He is obviously a step quicker than me at the moment, but that gap is coming down incrementally by racing a lot. I think it's Fissy and G-Man is really my nemesis because we very evenly matched. We have a lot of fun racing, but I need to make that step up to get to the top guys like Richard and D-Man and Fizz. So,
That's beautiful. Then, Mr. Richard, yourself, who's your friendly nemesis? Why and why not?
Definitely D-Man. He's very quick on this track, I know. I was sweating a lot in a couple of other previous races we had here. So no, definitely, I think he's a great driver, very clean, very consistent. Maybe something that I can work on is to be more consistent. I get this 1 or 2 or 3 hot laps, but I think definitely the consistency can improve. And then just to come to Vincent, he's gonna be tough tonight. I've did a couple of practice races, so he's hitting low 36s. I think there's going to be a nice challenge between myself and D-Man tonight, and I'm looking forward to it.
Right, brilliant. That's awesome stuff from you guys. Very much respect between the three of you gents. I think that we answered question number 3, which is, are you happy with your progress this far? I believe all of you are. You've also mentioned a few things. Also, Richard, having a look at your little offie that you got there. Nice save with your white Mercedes. Could say it's the white shark, the old dolphin shape 6 Series, I believe. It's quite similar to that. So I think you guys are going to have yourself a brilliant racing, as well as what you said with the consistency. Look, anybody can qualify within a 10th or 2 from someone, but in certain races or certain levels of drivers, you can see that 10th over a qualifying lap become a 10-20 seconds difference over a race. And that is exactly what we've pushed here for doing our combos and designing the combos between myself and Wolfie for the season, is that look, each race is not going to be a similar copy and paste. Some tires will be there, and there's always 2 to 3 strategies that play for every given one. There's not one single OP strategy. Different car compounds, the bump drafting rule, and a lot of people kicked on that, but it's really made the racing so much closer. You had to start thinking out the box, not just bump ahead like bumper cars. And the racing and the types of teamwork that you've managed to see from everybody was quite insane. So, boys, I want to say thank you very much. Also, for those who are not going to know, I want to have a podium race or podium spots for the race. At the end of the race, people just need to join in afterwards. I'll add them on the party, so I'll just make a notice of that now. So, gents, you are excused. Have fun, drive safe, and our qualifying will start in 10 minutes.
Thanks, Dino.
Lovely
Much
race,
appreciate it. Enjoy it, guys. Enjoy it.
Lekker reis, D-man.
Forget it, Richard. Richard just joined the wrong party again. Probably wanting to go to his team party, so that was quite interesting and insane to see. So that's going to be quite awesome. Okay, boys, let's quickly have a look at all the races that is currently here with the member list. You've got Vitriolic Drizzt, Bridgens, Vincent, D-Man, G-Man, Wolfie, Ghost, Flockpark, Hollywood, The Real 1D, Richard, Eric, John Vlog, and iCarbon. So there are your 14 races for the evening. It is going to be insane racing. It's going to be very close racing. With the Dash Chicane definitely going there. It is 23 laps. Going to go to the race and I'll show you guys. It is 23 laps, 10 o'clock. 23 laps, you've got racing softs, racing mediums, and racing hards available. 5 times tire wear, 4 times fuel, so not on the low end. So the only compulsory tire is the racing hards for 5 laps, which leaves you 18 laps. A lot of people might do the one stopper, which is probably a 10-11 on hards, and then finish the race on softs. I do not foresee mediums to be used this race. It'll either be a 2-stopper with 2 soft stints and that 5 hards, or a 1-stopper with just pushing the hards a little few more laps required than the compulsory, and then finishing off with a long stint on softs. It's about a 5 to 7 second difference depending on where you start on the grid. If there are incidents, if there are traffic, it can bring that 4 or 5 seconds down on the 2-stopper very, very quickly. Okay, so this is going to be quite interesting. I think the racing is going to be phenomenal, boys. We've got Richard Flockford, like I said, with their yellow Aston Martin, with KBRG man, iCarbons, KBR Wolfie with their green livery, KBR Hollywood, got the M6 of D-Man, GT and BGR, Real 1D in their Porsche. The Porsche is not the strongest car yet, however, with the tyre wear and fuel wear, you might see some good racing from these gents, consistent long stints, and it is going to be very, very interesting to see. Again, just bought for the PS stream. I hope the race interviews have made up for that. That is the most important part. We'll also have a post-race podium interview for the boys, and I think that's going to be fun. I think that's going to be very, very fun. But it is going to be interesting racing nonetheless. Just again, I am mentioning that this is a PS stream. I will be mentioning it quite a few times throughout the race for people that join late, so that I don't also ask afterwards what was happening with the stream, etc. So yeah, just bear in mind with that, please, boys. Beautiful driving from Vitriolic Drizzt and KBR Vincent, the oldest and the youngest drivers on the grid, or one of the oldest and the youngest. I think KBR Vincent's about 14 years old. Definitely need to get a race with him in order, or a nice interview. That'll also be great stuff. Just going to be having a tight look from these gents. Team versus team. This makes livery designing everything so beautiful. On a track or a grid, you can immediately see and recognize who are teammates, who are not, and that makes the racing just so much more fun. Currently, KBR Vincent has got some decent pace. He does push his car quite hard, so let's hope his race consistency and race pace and fuel and time management starts growing and improving, and I do foresee a bright future for this young gentleman. Okay, some of the gents are on the pits. I'm just going to say quali in 5. It's going to be quite interesting. KBR Richard, definitely one of the favourites this evening with D-Man GT and Vincent. Apparently Vincent's got decent pace around here. It's going to be very, very, very hard stuff indeed. And I cannot wait to see the action unfold. Especially with the rolling start gives each other. The gaps of qualifying is going to be super important. Now if you guys have a look at how fast one goes through the death chicane here. Nice and deep early on the throttle. Reardon might sometimes step out a bit here. Up by 2/10, he's on a very quick lap at the moment. It's going to be a little slight left here. Ooh, very good exit. Could be a little bit better, maybe a 10th last day. Still very good executed, very well executed. If he just nails his last corner now. Very good lap this. This should be a 36.2. 6.7. Clearing a type here. Giving him trouble. Like to give the boys and my friends some trouble with regards to their laps. It's going to be interesting to see. Okay, so with regards to fuel, the M6 is quite decent on fuel. You might see this car reach about 13 laps on the fuel and another 10th lap, as you can see. With the Supras doing 1 or 2 laps, this Aston Martin is also a little bit heavier on fuel, might only reach 11 or 12. So the one stoppers will be a very push stretch for them, needs to be double full tank. It's going to go off wide. His line on entry was just a little bit wide. And that is what happens when you go a little bit wide there. Definitely have to push the limits there. Let's have a look at Vincent currently. Shifting on the red block, nice and easy, nice and smooth. Nice and uncommitted to that dead chicane. Not really having to push the limits. I think it's just working on his consistency currently. It is his out lap nonetheless, so very aggressive downshift here from the young man. Only 6,000 separating these two gents. He should go for his fast lap now. Let's have a nice look on board to see what is what with the young man. We have enough time, and let's quickly have a look. Should start braking at the start of the red. Broke a little bit too much there. He's downshift, a little bit aggressive. Throttle everything, the execution, or the idea behind it, when to gear, what gear to take it. And the routine of that gear sequence going through that corner was perfectly executed. So giving him the kudos to that. Nice early downshift here, perhaps an off chip to fifth on the uphill. A little bit exit on the line there. Looks like Wolf is also putting in some times. This is going to be an interesting race. The death chicane hopefully does not claim a victim this evening. Nice smoother downshifting going on there. He has given up on his lap, so he's not pushing enough anymore. Clip the right, just start swinging it over to the left. When you get to the marshals on the right hand side, is when you a little bit left to the left. His line is accident compromised there. If you're going or cruising through the death chicane, not at your normal fast pace, it might throw your rhythm off a bit, and this usually is the end result of that. Because you're so used to practicing at full pace, it usually just throws you off a bit when going through there in a chilled mode. So everybody, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. If you can pop a message, kindly leave a like. Press like and subscribe, will be greatly appreciated. D-Man GT only 1,000th behind Richard. Only 6,000 separated in the top 3. Call that this race is going to be intense. It's going to be super intense. And I think qualifying is about to start. Let's get it done. It is on fastest first currently. So let's get the grip to low. Usually when you change it and the track resets, kicks everybody back to the pits. This is where everybody starts going. And the adrenaline starts kicking in. I don't know who goes up because they're going to just kick back. It's always funny. 10 minutes quali. Just quickly getting all the details out. Okay, let's quickly have a look at the boys. Okay, Vitrolic is out in first currently, followed by D-Man GT, KBR Vincent, Carbons. His team is a little bit split up. I believe they'll just quickly re-rotate back to each other. That is going to be quite interesting, to be honest, so it's going to be good to see what will be going on. Someone says, my devices, just microphone level. The microphone level should be a little bit higher now. Thank you for that, Anthony. Mr. Yusuri Majid, Mr. DMR Speedy, thanks a lot for joining. Vitrolic is on his own. D-Man's taking the charge with Carbons behind him in Slipstream. Boys, Slipstream is allowed. Unfortunately, bump drafting is not allowed. So this is going to be interesting to see. However, this 750 gap that D-Man is providing iCarbons can give iCarbons a nice 0.3 to 0.5 or 6 boost across the finish line at the end. So it's going to be interesting to see. And I think the top 3 or 4 are going to be very close with regards to their quali times. Carbon's going slightly wide, losing the slip of D-Man GT. He should maybe still be in it. It's going to be very close. I doubt that he's still in it. If he is barely at the end. But let's see how it works. He might slingshot him back close to D-Man GT by the end. Should be passing the dead chicane now. After this right-hander. I want to have a look as everyone passes through here. Vitrolic getting a nice in, nice through. Little lift, planted through, very cleanly through. D-Man GT, little lift, planted through. Little bit argy-bargy. iCarbons, dead chicane has its first victim. iCarbons is smashed. Richard clips the wall on the exit. KBR has a little bit of wiggle. Regions, Flugfart gets smashed as well by the dead chicane. Carbons is still stuck here. Might cause a little bit. He's just going to stay there with his ghost. Exit out. Ooh, that is unfortunate. Let's quickly have a look at Vitrolic passing the line. D-Man with a 37.3. Not optimal. A little bit of argy-bargy is happening through that sector of the death chicane. Bolfie, Vincent, G-Man, iCarbons. A little bit of front end damage. Should be finished by now. Now I can start flooring it out. Probably going to go into the pits. Yes, he is. Change his tires and then just try and push again. Guys, for you who has just joined, if you go to the start of the stream, the first 5 or 8 or 10 minutes, you would see we start an interview with both Wolfie, with Richard, as well as D-Man GT, the 3 leading teams, 1 driver representing each of those teams. We had a nice little interviews with them. If you guys want to jump back and have a listen to that. So Vincent has taken pole position. D-Man GT, definitely not the optimum times. You should see those times increase. Wolfie doing solid. Vincent behind Wolfie. might creep up into his slipstream by the end of this straight. Let's have a look at the dash chicane again. DMR GT going through here. A little bit argy-bargy. Very nerve-wracking to go through there. Hollywood. And Ghost and Bridgens makes it through there quite safely. So let's just go back to Vincent and see if he's going to catch up to Wolfie and maybe regain his slipstream by the last sector and have a nice little slingshot boost from the back of Wolfie's slipstream. You might see this happening. He actually might say, I think he has tucked himself into that. Wolfie going wide, not to give him the slipstream, knowing he'll get a nice decent boost. Very clever. Naughty but clever from Wolfie. Ah, looks like they both will be going in for a new set of tyres. They do have quite some time. Let's have a look at the end of this. Who pops out where? And we will definitely have a look to see what will happen. Remember, at the 10-minute mark, they stop on track exactly where they are. Once it's settled, we get them back to the pits and they can change their tyres to which ones they want to start the race with. Okay, all of them are out, all of them are out. No other people have done hot laps. There comes a few people across the line. So we've got Vincent, D-Man, GT. I just want to have a look at turn 1 here. Might see some people on the out lap. Real Wonder is ahead of Vincent on his out lap. Let's hope he does not deter him quite a bit. He should be giving space to Vincent. Definitely some things that his driver gets, like Wolfie, as you can see, popped himself out of the way to make sure that the next drivers can come through. If you're on your out lap, it is your duty to make sure that when you exit the pits, you are not protruding on anybody's lap. There he is putting on his hazards. I think he might be lifting and waiting for the gents to come past. I think Vincent has already stopped. Gone back a little bit behind. I think he's already protruded his lap a bit. I think they'll all give each other some gap. Time to go. There's enough time to go. A little bit of a mess going on here, to be very honest. Okay, that is what the death chicane does. Taking a few victims. Some pits that weren't planned. It's nicely through. Corbin's nicely through. Scratching on the exit again. Real Wandy lifting so that they can pass. And now the next lap should go. KBR Hollywood is coming out the pits currently. Let's see if he's ahead of Vlakvark. He's lifting. Brilliant racing etiquette. This is what I'm talking about, gents. This is what I'm talking about. Let's go and let the people in front go and do their lap. I don't think Hollywood is going to have enough time for another lap though. So that might be his time's done. Richard has taken pole position with a 36.8. Followed by Vincent, still with a 37.3. A little bit of issues on the out laps and stuff. He's starting his lap now. He'll have just enough time to push through. Let's just see, currently he's in 12th position. It's iCarbons. iCarbons, I don't think iCarbons would deter Vincent currently with anything like that. So let's have a look at Vincent. This is going to be the person to watch currently to see if he can unslot Richard from pole position. D-Man GT also on his flyer currently. He's going through the chicane now. Let's have a look and see what happens here. Nice on the limits. Taking it much more aggressive than before. Beautifully done. We should cross the next sector here to see, or the final sector once he's done. Let's see how far ahead he is. Did he improve his time? It's going to be interesting. You can definitely see he pushed the limits through the chicane. Nothing to lose. Already has Q3. Just wants to improve. With Ghost behind him, only 0.028 seconds behind him. Let's see. D-Man rather. Has he improved? Yes, he has. He's taken Q2. Ghost has lost. D-Man GT brought it in 36.9. Now the next one is up to Vincent. Let's see. He's currently on a better lap or a faster lap than before. Let's see if he gets this through. Let's see if he can get this through. A little bit wide. A little bit wide there on exit. On entry rather. Let's have a look. Vincent, has he done enough to secure pole position? Does a little bit of cuts on the inside. Has he done it? He has just taken over D-Man GT. This is great racing from everybody. This is great racing. Only 4.5 tenths separating the top 5. Looks like Corbins did finally manage his 37.1 after nailing the previous, or having some issues on the previous laps. Guys, only half a second. Oh, there's almost nothing between absolutely everyone. There's less than a tenth between the top guys. A tenth, 7/100th, 2/10ths, less than a tenth, less than a tenth, less than a tenth, less than a tenth. Almost equal, less than a tenth, less than a tenth. Only 3/10ths, 4/10ths, and then 2.3 seconds. This is crazy. All the way from Q1 to 10 is under a second. Q1 to 11 is only 8/10ths of a difference. That is close racing. I think we're going to see some exciting racing going on here. This is going to be beautiful. It's going to be beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let me just quickly get the timing sheet out. Take a photo of this. Quickly get down 13 and 14. You should everybody exit to pits now. They'll go change their tyres. Most gens will go and change their tyres to make sure for a race. That's going to be brilliant stuff. So KBR Richard, KBR Vincent, and D-Man GT. Incredibly close, less than a tenth between the two. 1.7 though. Very, very close racing. Mr. Bridgens in Q4, the 37.1. Oh, did I mix these two around? Well done, Mr. freaking Bridgens. Great racing from him with his 37.1. Man has been pushing. I think he's the oldest man in the lobby. I think he's like 67 years old or 63 years old. Insane in the membrane is what they say. Pardon me, gents, I just get that it's this excited. Looks like the guys ahead are going to go on racing softs. The top 5, in fact, all going on racing softs. Everybody on racing softs. Just racing that again. For those who have forgotten or might not have done it. Bar Sector 1. Boys doing some donuts, having some fun, waiting for the race to start. This is going to be incredibly tight racing. Just waiting for that one driver just to come past the racing line, past Sector 1. And there we go. There we go, boys. It is race start. Okay, race is on. Good luck, boys. I think this is going to be great stuff here. Have a good race. Let's have fun. For everybody that's watching, what are your predictions? Just pardon the PlayStation stream this weekend. My setup has moved, and I will be putting it back in this week from another room. What I did to make up is we had a nice pre-race interview with 3 leading team members. In the beginning of the stream, you can go and listen to that. They were interviewed live, and then also the podium will be interviewed after the race to see what can be done. Okay, perfect, boys. So it's 23 laps, 5 laps on hards are compulsory. You would see 2 stoppers. Most of the 2 stoppers will probably be like a 995 or variation thereof with the 2 stopper. 9 softs, 5 hards, 9 softs again. You might see some gents doing the 1 stopper, anything between 10, 11 hards to 10, 11, 12 on the softs. So let's get the start going. KB Richard and his White Shark BMW off to a good start, solidly followed by KBR Vincent. I'm going to just stick to them here. KBR Vincent, D-Man, Bridgens, Carbons, Wolfie Goes, Real One G-Man, Driz, Hollywood Flag for John, Eric. That was a mouthful, very fast. Let's see, no incidents at turn 1. Nice, clean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfectly done. Rolling start works perfectly for this turn 1 and 2. Great stuff. Let's look at the start. Richard and Vincent already broken a gap to D-Man GT. Is really getting put pressure by Bridgens. Let's see how long that lasts. It's going to be interesting to see Richard going a little bit on the wide side. I'm going to go to Vincent to get a bit of P3 and 4 in action as well. Great racing from these boys has changed. Through this as we go. Vincent, D-Man, everybody going through nicely. Let's have a look to see what he's making a move. Vincent is not making an early move. Looks like he is making an early move. way too early. That is an early move, way too early in the race. You've just broken a gap to 3 and 4. You do not want to attack or make a move and then have 2 new cars in the same train as what you are. That was a way too early move in my opinion, a little bit too optimistic, not optimistic, a little bit too impatient. But let's see if we can pull away on that. But this has allowed P3 and 4 to be within the slipstream range again. However, I think Bridgens might have gone with G-Man GT as well. And a little bit of argy-bargy. A little bit too soon in the race before it settles. Still a youngster, still a ton to learn. Hope that he listens to the stream afterwards. Not a good time to have made a move that early. There was no pressure from 3 and 4 on you. Luckily, Bridgens managed to try and make a move on D-Man GT, which caused 3 and 4 to not be right up your tailpipe at this moment, which would have been going on. Just want to have a look at Bridgens and D-Man GT here. D-Man going a little bit wide. They are going to battle a little bit more than expected, it seems. D-Man GT is going to push his nose. He's going to lift up. He knows this is a dangerous corner. Bridgens is going to allow the 2 top KBR boys to run away with this. Some of the moves being made. Ghost is down to 7th position. Vincent can be lucky that Bridgens made a move on D-Man GT, otherwise it would have been 4 at the front now. Great news, Dower managed to break away. Richard does not seem that phased or impatient to make a move now. He knows what is at stake. Rather push through, push the gap, get the gap to 3 and 4 gone, so that you can see that gap increase. Do not battle now. Leave the fight for later. Rather fight with 1 person at the end than 10 people right throughout the race and lose 10-15 seconds during the course of the race. Let's have a look. Everybody through clean, no. Oh, a little bit of Wolfie taking the barrier there on the outside, on the exit. No massive damage done. However, people behind will then be able to catch up. Carbons is probably going to go down the center. Let's have a look here. Carbons pushing down the inside. KBR Ghost is on the outside. Wolfie is trying to get back to position. Little bit of rubbing and racing going on here. This is going to be interesting. Wolfie defending very hard. This is going to be very interesting. Let's see what happens here. Ghost is down to 8th place. Carbons on the inside. Wolfie doing very defensive driving. A little bit of touching going on there. Not too much, not to hassle. We might see what goes on there. Carbons being pushed off by Ghost, G-Man, and then Real One Day on the outside. On the inside to the next corner. Someone is going to hit that mark. G-Man has gone off wide to the left. Not sure if Real One Day clipped him to the left after hitting that inside line, but Carbons is right there. G-Man has lost some time. Real One Day currently in P7 after that massive debacle happening in front. KBR goes a little bit argy-bargy going through there. Up the S's. Brilliant racing. KBR Bridgens looks to have lost his position now to D-Man GT. A lot of fighting that are happening between those two. D-Man GT, yeah, currently on a purple lap, wanting to try and push this next lap to try and catch up to P1 and 2, where they qualified very close to each other, and that's where the race is going to be in the top 3. Looks like Vincent is currently in P1, using a little bit more fuel than what Richard and D-Man is. He's pushing a little bit harder as well. He's aware 1 or 2 pixels more. This is very interesting racing. As I said, Vincent, currently a youngster, still a ton to learn. When to do moves, when to overtake, when not to overtake, etc. Where to work on management, but a very bright future for this youngster. So let's see, after lap 4, it has settled. KBR Vincent P1, KBR Richard P2, D-Man in P3, Bridgens just out of slipstream range. Just managed to get back into slipstream with that nice corner there. Wolfie managed to survive that shark attacks or orca killer whale pod of course that happened to him there after the dead chicane exit issue he had. KBR Wolfie and Ghost seems to have got him past. Carbons has made it past a Real 1D. Now his grind will probably start to try and catch up to the guys ahead. G-Man has gotten about a second down to the guys ahead after his little incident on the exit of the previous corner. Flarkpark, Hollywood, Driz, John, and then Eric very far behind, maybe Death Chicane. Great racing ahead. I think it's going to make for some superb racing. The battle for podium is going to be on. Looks like D-Man is starting to break that gap. I spoke too soon. Bridgen's hanging back in there, driving like an absolute machine this evening. Driving like an absolute machine, sticking there with the boys. This is the fastest I have seen him race, quite significantly, by quite a bit. This is very interesting. I am happy to see this. Okay, so 3 and 4 settling in nicely now. These M6s all chasing that car ahead of Vincent. As you can see, his tyre wear is much worse than what Richard is currently, and his fuel is much less. He is pushing his car very hard, and I think Richard knows this. He's going to play it out. You saw that Vincent was slightly impatient, and you just play towards that. Your race is not won in the first 7-8 laps, it is won by the last 4, so Richard has to play the longer game. He's probably going to jump him in the pits, and Vincent will be left behind about 2.5 seconds. And yeah, then it's going to be a catch-up game from Vincent to Richard. It's going to be very interesting to see, but it's going to make for an interesting result after the pits have done. If they're doing the 2-stop, you should see about 9 or 10 laps on the softs, or 8-9 on the softs, 5 on the hards, and another 9 on the softs again. If they do a perfect 50-50 split, 9-5-9 for a full 23 laps. D-Man GT has gotten the gap down by about 2 tenths over the last lap to KBR Richard. Wolfie now 4 seconds behind Bridgens. Ghost is making a move ahead of Wolfie. I think Wolfie's letting them know through. Ghost perhaps has a little bit more pace, and they would rather use that pace to push forward. With Carbons now trailing only 1.1 seconds behind. Real Wandy is sticking his nose of the Porsche rather to Carbons, not making it too easy. I hope he does not make moves and just work together with Carbons for later stages to see what will happen there. G-Man starting to fight back for that P8 position. Only 9 tenths behind, has significantly decreased the gap over the last 2 laps after he's off at this very next upcoming corner. He went wide to the left a little bit, and he has now managed to bring back that gap from 2.4 to 1.1. Brilliant racing from him. KBR Holly was already in after lap 6. I think he started on his hards. So after lap 5, he started on his hards, and they should be pushing it through now. Fluckfuck making a move on the inside on him, on his racing softs now. Going to be great to see what's going to happen. And let's jump back to the front, boys and girls. D-Man GT now has brought it back down to 1.3. Definitely decreasing that as Vincent's tyres are starting to wear a little bit more. Bridgen's tyres also slightly more worn than what a D-Man GT and Richard is. Slightly more fuel as well. D-Man GT and Richard are basically identical. Maybe a % difference in fuel. Bridgen's using a little bit more fuel, using a little bit more tyre. But he's having a ton of fun. He's pushing his car, he's doing some brilliant lap times here. So for everybody that's watching the stream, again, like I said, pardon, this is a PlayStation stream. My setup will only be ready again this week. I have moved rooms, so for those who missed it, there are 3 nice interviews with Wolfie, with D-Man GT, and with Richard, the 3 leading teams and individual drivers currently for their teams. Have a look or go to the start of the stream. You'll hear a nice interview if you want to hear what they have to say, their goals, aspirations, their progress, and a nice little banter amongst the 3 of them, just to make up for the PS stream. Also, at the end of the race, there will be a podium finish interviews as well between the top 3 guys, which should make for some interesting viewing as well. So for those of you who have missed it, also please, I'll see there's about 16-17 people watching. Please click on the like button. Click on the like button. For those who haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe for future entertainment. Okay, so these 4 have finally realized, do not battle, it's not time to battle. Work together, push it in front. Your battle will be at the last stint, boys, not on the first 2 laps. Happy to see the train has settled. D-Man GT has really dug down deep and got some brilliant pace in, and he's really starting to catch up to Richard. Just doing lap after lap after lap. 1.1 seconds down now from 1.9 seconds. And I think now Bridgen's realized that sticking with D-Man GT instead of fighting has proved a lot more beneficial than battling for third position. Now, rather than working with him, staying in his slipstream and then pushing it through. Bridges, unfortunately, outside of slipstream now, slightly more tyre wear and fuel usage at the moment, and that tyre wear should see him drop down a little bit. However, still a massive gap to KBR Ghost and Wolfie, who is pushing quite significantly to try and catch up to this top 4 train here. Bridges is doing a wonderful, wonderful drive at the moment, and I am super proud and impressed with him for sticking it this far. I would say currently the man of the hour is Bridgens for managing this awesome race pace. No got to work, have broken away with the top 4 boys, having the drive of his life. KBR, Wolfie and Ghost pushing together as a team. Carbon's making sick moves. Currently only 9/10 behind after that massive incident where he lost about 4 or 5 positions due to these people driving very positional, trying to grab every position as big as he can. He laid back a little bit, lost a few positions, but after the settling of the race now, after the first stints, seems that he's gotten his pace and he's back hunting both Ghost and Wolfie in their Jaguars. This is going to be great racing, and I cannot wait to see this pan out. DMR John, I'm not sure where I messed up, probably threw in some Afrikaans words, 1 or 2 during the course of the commentary. It happens, my boy. Just kind of let me know what I did. It will probably be best that I know for future reference how to fix it. Okay, Ghost is going into the pits on lap 8. He will probably do an 8.5.10. He's going to have a longer stint on softs at the end. It's going to be brilliantly planned to execute a 10-lapper. Some great racing going on at the moment. G-Man just trying to stick on to iCarbon's, only 1.2 behind, has some definite great pace here. Thank you so much for that, John. I doubt that I'll go listen to the stream afterwards, but let us see what's going on here. Looks like Vincent has broken away the slipstream again, but it's gone a little bit wide and just allowed him back in. D-Man GT is back in. The top 3 boys are back in. Look at the tyre wear. Vincent, Richard, D-Man with the best tyre wear currently. He has caught up. He currently has about 2-3% less fuel than Richard. However, his tyre wear is significantly better. This is going to be brilliant racing, boys. The top 3 are really showing it. And 1.9 seconds now, falling slightly behind is Mr. Bridgens, still with a massive cushion to the back in P5. Looks like Carbons has made a move. Or not a move, rather. I believe Ghost went into the pits. Excuse me, or pardon me for that. Carbon's going through. There's a little bit of grades on the exit there, rather that than hitting the inside walls. This is brilliant. I'm going to go back to D-Man GT. This is always going to start happening, boys. They are all going into the pits. Let's see what goes on. D-Man is staying out 1 lap more. He's got the cushion. He's got the cushion. There's no need. Nobody's going to be able to undercut him, luckily. So, doing this extra lap might prove beneficial at the end. Get some clean air. Not having to worry about the slipstream about P2 and 1. There's nobody that's really close enough to give him an undercut that he needs to worry about. So, he can probably do a 10 lapper now, but he's pushing 1 lap too much though. A 9.9 would have been better, but let's see. Maybe he's pushing for a fastest lap, having a little shorter soft stint at the end. Remember, you get plus 1 point for fastest lap and you get plus 1 point for pole position, so you might try and push for that extra points. Everything matters at this moment with them and KBR Apex Racing, who's Wolfie and Ghost, only about 4 or 6 points difference, I'm not sure, so every single point counts now. And D-Man GT deciding to start 1 lap extra is going to make for an exciting turn of events. The other gents are coming out on their hards, I believe. Richard are coming under the hards. Like I said, 2 to 2.5 seconds difference will be the jump from Vincent to Richard. Vincent used a little bit more fuel, about 7% more fuel, and that gives you a 2-second jump in the pits. And Richard knows this, and he just settled behind Vincent, no need to push, and now he'll be gone. John van Log has gone for a massive undercut, and he has caught up to Vincent. He might keep him busy for a bit, so let's see how this works. As you can see, D-Man GT probably will go into the pits now, 21 fuel. He should probably come out right close to Vincent, a little bit ahead of Vincent and Richard. I think he's going to come out in P2. Depends on if he's going to go on his softs again. Now he's putting on his hards. Putting on his hards. Let's see how much fuel he puts in. He put on hards. So he'll probably go on there, and he's going to come out right behind Richard, ahead of Vincent, as expected. Exactly. Man, I love this game. I know freaking the ins and outs of everything. Fuel and tires, everything done brilliantly. He is on cold hards now, unfortunately, and Vincent has already gone on his one outlap of hards, so D-Man GT might be a little bit skittish here. So let's see how he handles that together with the pressure. If Vincent makes a move on D-Man GT, you might see Richard pull a significant gap, which he already has a little bit. But that is what 7 to 10% of fuel can do to you. I think Vincent has now seen or first-hand witnessed this again, that fuel and tire management is incredibly important over a 40-minute race, which is not your typical sprint race where you just go balls to the wall. As I said, youngster, bright future ahead of him. All of these are learning curves and school fees, basically. D-Man GT pushing nice there. Ooh, Vincent had a very good exit. Much better exit than D-Man GT. D-Man almost broke the slipstream, exactly what he wants, to try and chase down Richard. Ooh, Vincent going for an inside move there. Very optimistic, has cost him both half a second to KBR Richard now. 6/10 rather. And if I was Vincent now, I would not go for this move on turn 1. Because the only reason you're this close to him is because you slightly nudged D-Man head. Seems like he's going to go for his move. A little bit on the etiquette side there for me. You can't cause someone to push out the previous corner and then to make your move on them the next corner and anyway, as if nothing happened. So this should see it unsettle a bit and give Richard gap ahead. Vincent had no reason to make a move on D-Man GT there on his stints, as that will just now cause him to battle for second place and not for first place, as Richard obviously enjoys this and will go through. If I was Vincent, I would have worked with D-Man GT, gotten closer to Richard. With the pace of D-Man GT and Vincent together, they could have caught up. If Vincent noticed, D-Man caught up a 2-second gap in about 6 laps to them, and yeah. However, it is what they're racing. It is the situation at the moment. Vincent has now made 2 moves, questionable at the wrong time, and not working together, checking for the actual leader. This is given, like I said, Richard a 2.6-second gap. And this has upset the apple cart a bit, so let's see how this pans out. Guys, for everybody that's watching, I see there's about 16 people watching. Hopefully you haven't clicked the like button yet. Just press the cross, click on the like button and go back to the chat and the stream again. That's all I ask of you. Looks like Richard made a small little oopsie. He lost about 5/10, half a second to Vincent and D-Man. And he just got that gap built up. Let's have a look at John van Log. Driving brilliantly at the moment. He should come in for his second pit stop shortly. Bridgens in Q5 at the moment, or P5, having a super drive, still 5 seconds ahead of KBR Wolfie. Kendall, thank you very much for mentioning that, brother. Thank you very much. Is the fact that if you flash someone ahead of you, with the intentions that they know, okay, fine, you're not going to battle them. The person leading that charge can just keep his head down and not worrying about going in the inside line. He can just keep his head down and do lap after lap, knowing the guy behind him is not going to make a move. So that is not going to be in his subconscious. But again, thank you for that. Bump drafting is now banned 100%. Yes, just let you guys think outside the box and not just use bump drafting as a technique. So definitely something that has shaken things up a bit and has made for super racing. As just to be behind someone, tappity, work yourself ahead, go like that. So yes, that's how you work together, Kendall, knowing that the person behind you is not going to make a move on you, having that peace of mind, you can just push forward. Vincent noticed that D-Man brought down a 2-second gap to basically from 2 seconds to about 3/10 in about 6 laps. You would have known that D-Man had decent pace, good rhythm at that specific moment, and just work with them. Working with them, someone is not helping them along by bump drafting. Working with people like any other racing, we don't bump draft people's rear bumpers off. That's proper working together, knowing that, listen here boy, I'm not going to make a move on your rear end. Okay, so Kenya, I hope that answers your question. Thanks again for raising your opinion or questions. Always expect that from you, bud. Much love, and great to see you watching the stream. How did your race go? Okay, so KBR Vincent has brought the gap down to, well, still 2.1. D-Man GT now 1.1 seconds behind KBR Vincent. Bridgens is now 3.6 seconds behind D-Man GT and about 4.9 seconds ahead of Wolfie. So only lost about 2/10 to them. He's retaining that gap. He's in a very good position at the moment. KBR, Wolfie, Vlakvark and G-Man all close to each other as well. I think Hollywood's making a charge currently on Wolfie by only being behind him by 9/10 of a second. Let's have a look where Ghost is currently. Ghost has already gone for his last pit. He has done his last pit. He's probably going to push through now and he will not have to pit again. So let's see how many people he jumps in the pits when they do go and pit for their second stop. Okay, 1.9 to Vincent, 1.8 to Vincent currently. Both on low and empty fuel. You should see them going to the pits now, these two youngsters. Well, Richard, not that much of a youngster, but I know you'll take the compliments. Okay, so they should go in now. D-Man GT should stay out for another lap. Most probably that is the case. Yes, D-Man GT will start for another lap. And let's see. Remember now, D-Man GT will have 1 lap fresher tires at the end of the race, as well as about 1 lap less fuel needed. So a slightly lighter fuel load by about 7-8%, I would say, and 1 lap fresher tires. That can make a world of a difference on the last 2-3 laps of a stint of race with this significant tire wear. Okay, there we go, with Vincent 2.6 seconds behind Richard. So it seems that he put in a little bit more fuel because he's using more fuel. So he needs a slightly higher percentage to finish the race due to his fuel management. So he's got 2.6 seconds to do in about 8 laps. Laps 15 all the way to 23. In about 9 laps, I apologize. They are going to do 9 laps on their stints with the racing soft tires. The fastest laps should now start pulling through as they are on a slightly lower fuel load than what's starting. Seems that they are starting in about 75% fuel, which means they are a quarter tank lighter, and they should be doing the purples right about now. D-Man GT will probably come in about with 70% fuel. As you can see at the bottom, it's going to be quite interesting. D-Man GT at the end here, on the end of his stint, he's going to do a flyer of an 8 laps on his racing softs. Never going to be pushing it through, and it's going to be incredibly interesting to see the margin. If he puts in a little bit less fuel, he might jump Vincent. If he puts in a little bit less fuel than required, maybe 3-4%, he might jump Vincent, but maybe not have enough fuel to push the catch Richard. So this is not going to be his choice. Put in enough, maybe lose a position to Vincent. However, I do believe that he might jump Vincent again due to his fuel management. So let's have a look and see. He's going to slot himself in between Richard and Vincent again. Okay, so he just came out due to the fact that Vincent and them were on their racing softs, and he was in his racing hards for that last lap, so he would have lost about a second and a half to them. As you can see, 1.5 seconds now behind Vincent. However, he's got 1 lap fresher tyres, slightly less fuel than Vincent, so this is going to mean the race is going to be on now. He knows he's got 1 lap fresher tyres, and he should keep the race for the last 2-3 laps. He would have a slight advantage if he does not push and destroy his tyres now. So this podium race is far from over, boys and girls. It's going to be great racing. So 2 seconds to 2 seconds, about 4 seconds separating the current podium, with Bridgens still driving solidly. JVLR John van Log sorry boys, just spot on that. This person has joined the lobby, and I believe it's not the first time he's done so. Okay, pardon that. We'll just have a discussion with Radio Guy 007 after that. However, let's get back to it. So, Wolfie has now lost about a second due to John van Log keeping these boys busy, so that's going to be quite interesting. John van Log has lost about 5 positions in a matter of 2 corners, being on the racing hards, and all of these guys on the racing soft, so they just forced their way past him. Whoa, Flatfoot making a move on the inside, very, very optimistic. Cutting track limits on the inside there. That is definitely going to be something worth watching after the race. That was incredibly opportunistic, if I can put it that way. But let's see how this pans out, going in side by side with the white BMW on their rear end. Wolfie reclaims his spot. Great stuff. Great work from him. Flakvork G-Man and then KBR Hollywood sticking behind. Richard is keeping his name high, the other great white to the front. So let's see how this pans out. Vitriolic now starting to put pressure on John. Making a move on the inside there, however, allowed by John due to him keeping his side of the track and his side clean. Brilliant racing nonetheless. iCarbons, not sure what happened there. Let's have a look at those lap times. Lap 15, a little bit of an incident by about 2-3 seconds it seems. And he had a 2:06, maybe that was his pit stop, yes. So let's see how he does and catches up. Okay, so Real 1D. Looks like he's going to have to go and stop again. Probably now or the next 2 laps after the end of lap 18. I believe he did a soft and a soft stint, so he should probably go pit by lap end of 18 so that he can do his 5 on hards. Richard currently has a 2-second gap to KBR Vincent, who's got a 2.1 second gap to D-Man GT. 6.3 seconds to Bridgens. I'm not sure if that was pace or if Bridgens maybe had a little oopsie on this lap. Let's quickly have a look when he crosses the line to see the comparison to his usual lap times. Okay, that's approximately similar, so that seems to have now settled the gap. 6.5 seconds to D-Man GT, currently in P5. Still a brilliant drive from him. KBR Wolfie still battling. Now it's Flakvark on his outside, Wolfie defending on the inside. A little bit of a touchy going on there. Nothing major. These boys are driving incredibly hard. I can tell you they are having a very good laugh, or a little giggle or smile from all of them driving this way, very close and hard racing. They do 4-lap races, probably between 5 to 10 4-lap races every single night. So their close proximity racing and awareness is significantly well tuned. So kudos to them. I think this is going to be some battling going on here. I'm having a look at the minimap, looking for any other close trains. Seems that only to the back here is KBR Ghost trying to get iCarbons. So we can quickly have a look here. This is exactly what the bottom battle should be between Carbons and Ghost, the teams that are currently in P2 and P3 overall, with the Ghost and Wolfie being ahead. However, with D-Man GT being 2 positions ahead of Wolfie currently, and Carbons currently leading Ghost, I think they might jump to the 2nd spot. Let me not do a commentator's curse here, but this is exciting. Okay, so Richard has a little bit bumped that gap. Oh, Vincent made a small mistake perhaps, because now DMR GT is only 9/10 behind him, so this is going to be quite interesting to see. Okay, looks like the pressure is on. Looks like the pressure is on. Bridgens has increased the gap to KBR Wolfie by 5.5. However, Wolfie is absorbing an absolute ton of pressure from G-Man and Vlakvark. I think they're having the drive of their lives. However, G-Man or Vlakvark slightly hit the wall on exit there, and this has given Wolfie a slight breather. Almost like a blue whale coming up every 2 hours for and just gasping. Oh, he's got a little bit of a breather, about 1.2 seconds, and I think he's going to absolutely dash now just to maintain that gap and really get some of that pressure relieved. Okay, then Hollywood is being attacked by Real 1D with Vitriolic trailing rather shortly behind. John Munlo currently in P11. KBR goes in 12th. With Carbons, not sure what happened with Carbons though. Battling going on with him and Ghost. So Carbons was way ahead earlier before, but I'm not sure what happened in regards to strats. Or perhaps the death chicane had another victim. Making a move on Ghost. KBR Airy currently at 14th. Okay, so Richard currently 2.9. DMR GT seems to have caught up to Vincent, being super consistent. Look at the massive tyre wear difference. This is Richard with 1 lap more than Vincent. Vincent's got a little bit more tyre wear. D-Man has got a significant amount less tyre wear, not just due to the 1 lap, but also due to time management as well. I think I'm going to just keep it here for a bit. I think D-Man GT should start making his moves in the next lap or two. I think he can sense that the tyre wear of Vincent is a little bit on the low side, and he should be bouncing anytime soon. If he can just put his nose for the next lap or two and get Vincent to brake a little bit later, go a little bit offline, destroy that tyre just a little bit more, then by the last lap or two, then Vincent should not be able to defend as good as he would want to. There we go, a clean move around the outside of turn 1, which is the inside of turn 2. Brilliantly done, brilliantly done. I think that was a super good overtake. Okay, this should see it settled a little bit. Just gonna have a look until we go up to the uphill on the S's. If that improves a little bit or increases a little bit the gap, then I'll just jump back to what is gonna make a massive fight. Oh, Wolfie must have hit the death chicane. Wolfie must have hit the death chicane. I do believe so, as he has lost all his positions to Vlakvark and G-Man. That is incredibly unfortunate. I wish I saw that. Again, this is Dragon Trail Seaside. Welcome to the Wall of Death. Great racing from the boys. Looks like the gap is increasing to Vincent. So what would have made an interesting race was going to be... let's get to Wolfie again. I'll just jump to him now. Ooh, that is Real 1D on the exit there. Not sure what happened to this young man. Okay, this is going to be an interesting battle. Vitriolic Drizzt, an OG at the game, versus Wolfie, very experienced as well. This is going to make for some very interesting racing. I think this is where the action is going to be. Okay, going to this bottom right-hander. Let's see how they are playing along. Volvo trying to go around to the outside. Ooh! Vitriolic Drizzle is just closing that door. I think Volvo is kicking himself in the nuts at the moment for hitting. I'm thinking it's the death chicane. And there, Vitriolic Drizzle hits the death chicane. Oh, it is death, boys and girls. That is the destroyer of dreams right there. That wall has cleansed so many memories, so many victims. It is just unfortunate. Vitriolic Drizzle, the unfortunate next one. Now he's got front end damage. Let's have a look where the next battles are. Looks like it's the final lap. G-Man and Flock just bringing it home. Hollywood on their rear. Bridgens having a drive of his life. Bridgens having the drive of his life. I think he's super chuffed with himself. Kept it clean, kept it consistent. Didn't get hit or charred by the death chicane. D-Man GT 3 seconds behind Richard now. A little bit of unfortunate happenings with Vincent himself. The battles that would happen there. Could have seen Richard closer to the both of them. However, a podium to these three gents. Nonetheless, I'm not going to bring a commentator's curse. I just have faith that they'll survive the wall of death. Let's see, they bring it through. Bring it through. Bring it through. Bring it through. Nicely, nicely done. Richard actually lifted significantly that he lost about 4 tenths just to make sure he does not hit it or mess it up on the last lap. This is brilliant racing. Okay, so let's take it through with the fan favorite currently in P1. Number 2 and D-Man GT definitely brought the lead as he said he's going to. A brilliant race. Vincent finishing up 3rd place for podium. Bridgens about 9 seconds behind. In his P4, I can tell you that he is over the moon with that result. With G-Man and Flockies bringing it home together in photo finish style. Of KBR Hollywood in 7th, KBR Wolf bringing it through. Vitriolic in 9th. Real 1D in 10th. Carbons brings home 11th with KBR Ghost in 12th. John Falog 13th. And we'll just stick around a bit for KBR Eric. Got promoted from the Silver League, enjoys his racing a ton. Brilliantly done. Let's bring them home. Okay, Eric, boys, we can have an interview with the top 3 gents. That is your race results right there. I'm just quickly taking a screenshot of that. That is your race results. Just get it in there. The podium boys, we can just jump on. Podium boys, just jump onto the party chat. I'm going to just quickly add KBR Vincent here to the party, and then we can have a quick podium interview with the boys. Okay, brilliantly done, boys and girls. That was a massive, massive race. Some unfortunate victims by the death chicane. So that was quite interesting. I think just race replay. Save, please. Okay, so that was brilliant racing, ladies and gents. I think the boys actually brought it home quite nicely. I think all of them made sure that they had proper racing going on, and just waiting for the podium gents to be on here so we can have a quick finish with the race. And thanks a million for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Stay on the line. We are having a little bit of interview, Keys, with the podium boy, Keys. Here's the man of the hour, Mr. Richard, has just joined the party chat. There we go, boys. So here we go. Mr. Richard, tell me quickly your thoughts on the first 2 laps, yourself and Vincent putting slight gap, and then Vincent making a move on very lap 1 very early. I'll still give him a little bit of a scolding in about 2 minutes. How did you feel that pressure going on there?
No, look, I know Vincent is I think he's very fast. He still has a lot to learn. So, yeah, I know that he had the speed in that Aston Martin. So I gave him the position up. You'll see I turned wide there, that corner, and so I went to plan B, fuel safe behind him. So I can jump him in the pits because straight speed is not going to work with the BMW versus the Austin. I was worried about D-Man. I saw he was also catching up and saving fuel after Vincent. So yeah, I think congrats to Vincent and D-Man. A good race.
That's beautiful, beautiful commendations from yourself. Yes, if you ever look at the stream, I'm not sure if you watched the stream afterwards as well, I noticed exactly that's what you did, and I think that was 100% perfect, the right move, with a match with tire wear like this, and the death chicane, what you did there, give you the position and just push ahead. Instead of having a battle with 4 people, you did perfectly, and I think the race result exactly showed for that. You kept it clean, and you jumped him in the pits with that extra fuel saved, but brilliant, brilliant racing nonetheless. D-Man was on a charge. In fact, he had about 2-3% more fuel. His tires were very nicely looked after, and he caught up to you guys quite fast. So, D-Man, what was going through your head after that Bridgens attacking you in early stages when you had that gap? You just put your head down, and we just saw that gap coming down.
Of course, so very classy man. He was very rapid in that BMW behind me. So I was in a catch-22 situation. So I was trying to save fuel, but I couldn't because I was trying to break his slipstream. And at the same time, I was trying to catch up to the guys in front of me. So unfortunately, the battling behind me resulted in me losing the slip. And then I was caught in a bit of no man's land. So yeah, I had to try to save fuel, sacrifice a bit of time. I tried to flick around the strategy slightly with the hope that I'd still have enough tires left in me to try and overcut, which seemed to have worked, but I don't really think so. So I think overall, quite a good race. And congrats to Mr. Richard, our winner, and Vincent. I think it's second podium now this season.
I think that's correct. We'll get to him in a bit. D-Man, your charge was really brilliantly done. I saw that you went in an extra lap. The overcut actually did help you work it at the end. It made you be able to pass Vincent slightly easier than what you would have with equal tire wear, so brilliantly done. Go have a look at the race afterwards. Look at the tire wear difference going to the end as well. And then also Mr. Vincent, brilliant racing from yourself. I see you made an early move with Richard, which cost you a little bit more time than you would have expected. And yeah, what was going through your mind? You just want to go flat fast, and please explain to us a little bit. You're new to the scene, you're young, bright future ahead of you.
Yeah, thank you. I thought if I passed Richard, I thought I could maybe break the slipstream and maybe pull away from him a bit, but it didn't really work.
That's a good idea. Yes, remember who you're racing with and racing against. To break slipstream at this level or at the top level is incredibly difficult. Just going to point a little bit piece of advice there. Everybody in the top 4, top 5 now are always within 0.5 of each other. Now, the usual rule of thumb is if someone is within 2-3 tenths from you, you are not going to break the slip of that person once that person is in your slip. Unless you're a second or so faster, then you can break slip through certain corners. But brilliant racing from you nonetheless. I do think you had rapid pace. D-Man and Richard always watch either their rear views or the gap towards you in front, and I think the racing was just, it was so fun to watch and commentate, and I think you guys should watch the stream afterwards. Are you all happy with your results? Richard, P1, what it was expected?
Yeah, well, I didn't expect that. I know it's going to be a tough battle, especially with D-Man in the lobby with a lot of experience and very good on fuel saving. And very good on strats, and yeah, I know Vincent's also very fast. Like I said, I did a race with him in the lobby earlier, and I know he's got the pace. So yeah, but I'm very happy. A little bit surprised. I think any podium would have been. I would have been happy with any podium. Yeah, but the win is a win, and I'll take it. Thank you.
Brilliant stuff. And D-Man, results also expected?
Yes, I'm pretty happy with the result. I'm mostly proud of Mr. Vincent for pulling that off.
Of course.
Very well done from him. And I think the nicest thing is this gentleman can be practicing for 10, 15 years and he'll still be younger than us today. So I think he's got a very bright future.
Yeah, he's going to give us grey hair. My hair's already grey after this.
I do agree with you, D-Man. I think, Vincent, you are really starting to make your mark on the GD sports scene, and we're going to be keeping an eye on you to make sure your progress is tutored, mentored from everybody. There's so many people who's got tons of experience in different aspects of the game, and I think you can just grow significantly on that. And also, well done on your fastest lap. You came here, you wanted to show how fast you are, make your mark, and I definitely think you've done that. A few tweaks here and there as you go along, a little bit school fees, but I am consider me proud, consider the community proud, and yes, well done on your when you're on your podium. I believe it's your second one.
Yeah, thank you.
It's an absolute pleasure. Man of many words. Keep them talking on the track. Again, thanks, boys. Daniel, brilliant race from you. The gap that you significantly closed down about 6-7 laps. I believe you closed down a 2.5 second gap to Richard. I know then you started sweating because you started pushing Vincent a bit more, and you guys just drove brilliantly. Your moves of pass on the outside in turn 1 and 2 and Vincent can only be done if the person in front of you that you're overtaking keeps it clean and respectful and is aware, and all of you have showed that. So I think that's brilliant racing going in. I look forward to commentating in the future. So any last words from any one of you, Richard?
Just from my side, Vincent, I think very, very, very well done. You running with a lot of pace. I think you surprised a lot of people. And yeah, D-Man, always an honor to race with you, and thanks for hosting Dino.
It's only a pleasure, man. P2, anything from you, Mr. D-Man GT58?
Just a big shout out to all the people watching the stream. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope it was fun. To all the Blue Go Racing supporters. Maybe our co-owner of the team was watching the race. But nevertheless, looking forward to next week Sunday. And yeah, hopefully we all bring it again.
I definitely think you guys would. Vincent, any last words from yourself, Panier? Do you want to tell these two big boys what they need to watch out for next weekend?
Jou toppies.
Yeah, hopefully they'll see me. They'll see me in the rearview mirror.
Brilliantly done. Thanks a lot, boys. I think there's great respect in the community, and let's keep this flair going. Have yourselves a good evening. Thanks, everybody, for watching the stream. Boys, have yourself a good one. Sleep well, and brilliant racing there yet again. Ciao, ciao.
Cheers. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Peace.